I was changing my youngest son's clothes when he suddenly asked me, "Mom, are you the third party?" I furrowed my brows tightly, my hands pausing in their movement. "Sweetheart, who told you that Mom is the third party?" This afternoon before school ended. "The teacher said so. She said I am the son of the third party, but I am Mom's child. So is Mom. Do you know what the third party means?" "Sweetheart." The innocence and harmlessness shone through the baby's eyes. "I don't know." I gathered my emotions and smiled at my youngest son. "Mommy isn't." "Sweetheart, you're also Daddy's child. How about we ask Daddy when we have dinner later?" "Good." Looking at the innocent smile on my youngest son's face, my heart sank. It seemed someone couldn't hold back after returning home. I placed the child on the carpet in the playroom, asking the nanny to keep an eye on him, and returned to the living room, sitting on the sofa while contacting the kindergarten principal, waiting for He Chuanxing to come home. Just as I finished editing the message and was about to send it, I heard someone enter the door. It was my eldest son, He Chi Huan, coming home from school. I put down my phone and walked towards the door, reaching out to take the tote bag from his hands. "Chi Huan is back. What did you buy?" I held onto the strap of the tote bag, and he didn't let go. So we remained stuck in the entryway like that. He opened his mouth, as if unsure how to start, and I understood a bit, letting go of my hand and taking the initiative to break the deadlock. "Was it your mom who gave it to you?" I didn't think it through. "You can keep it." He lowered his head, mumbling, "She is not." I didn't quite catch what he said, so I made a questioning sound. "Huh, what did you say?" "I mean, she is not my mom. You are my mom." I stood there in a daze, and he quickly shoved what he was holding into my hands. "Mom, please take care of this for me." She forced it on me, and I didn't want it in the first place. After saying that, he hurriedly went upstairs, leaving me standing there in a daze. Was this child shy just now? I watched his figure as he went upstairs, lost in memories. The He family and the Zhou family have a massive project worth over 100 billion to collaborate on. Although the two families have a deep friendship, for the sake of caution, they need to each send one person to marry. In this generation of the Zhou family, I am the only girl. My older brothers are all married, so I am the only candidate. The He family is also prepared, and they have chosen He Chuanxing, the third son of the He family. At that time, I was only a sophomore, and I suggested that we finish our studies before getting married. So we only held an engagement ceremony. Later, I went abroad to continue my studies, and I paid little attention to news from home. He Chuanxing did his best to fulfill the obligations of a fiancé, buying me gifts during holidays, and when I returned home for vacation, he would take time to accompany me on trips around the world. Gradually, I started to like him a bit. He was handsome, knowledgeable, gentle and considerate, always thinking of me, and he understood how to respect women, making him a very good candidate for marriage. Even my best friend said, "Zhou Shanshan, you've struck gold with such a good marriage partner. Unlike me, who has to marry a winter melon." After saying that, she sweetly sent a voice message to routinely check on her fiancé, reminding him to drive safely. It has always been like this in this circle, only alliances of interest, with no talk of love. That year on New Year's Eve, He Chuanxing said he couldn't accompany me because of work. I ate a 2-person portion of steak alone in the apartment, something I had specially learned to cook, just for him to taste. Now I can only eat alone. Lying in bed at night, my phone suddenly rang. It was a call from He Chuanxing. The ambiguous voice on the other end blocked all my words, and I silently hit record. "Ah Sheng, you will marry me, right?" "Of course. I only love you." "When are you going to break off the engagement with her?" "Tomorrow. They'll bring it up with my family tomorrow." The rest was just unbearable noise, so I hung up the phone directly. Before long, a photo was sent on WeChat. I first opened the screen recording, then took a screenshot, trying not to miss any evidence. Opening the message. It was a photo of him and that woman. I slowly sat up, saved the photo, zoomed in, and carefully examined every detail of the picture. He Chuanqing's hand was wrapped around the woman's waist, and they were embracing each other. He was asleep. But the smile on his face was one I had never seen when he was with me. Is being with this woman what makes you so happy? At that moment, another message notification appeared, and the other party retracted the photo. I knew then that it was a good thing I had kept the evidence. Then another message came in. He loves me. I advise you to break off the engagement sooner rather than later. Then she retracted that as well and sent another message. In a relationship, the one who is not loved is the third party. I simply replied to her lightly. Got it. I spent half an hour sorting out my emotions, then booked a flight back home. Some things are better said face to face. I had just gotten off the plane when my phone received a text message. I truly love him. You are just an unnecessary presence. He is only with you due to family pressure. I looked at her disdainfully as she shouted like a clown. The more she refused to admit it, the more I wanted to expose her shameful facade. Sitting in the car on the way home, I called my elder brother. Brother, I remember that the project with the He group has always been under your responsibility. How is the progress going? It's already in the final stages. We're discussing the next big project, which I'm also in charge of. Why the sudden interest in this? He Chuanqing cheated and even promised that woman he would break off our engagement. How dare he? So what about you now? I'm on my way home now. Big brother, this is quite a rare opportunity, isn't it? Make sure to prepare well. Have you said anything to Dad? I replied softly. This is beneficial for the Zhou family, and Dad won't oppose it. Moreover, He Chuanqing is determined to break off the engagement. Forcing him won't do any good. It would only lead to mutual destruction. It's better to genuinely seek some benefits for the Zhou family and for myself, without tearing our relationship apart. After all, both families still need to continue cooperating. Okay. Then I called Dad. Dad, I'm back in the country. I have something to discuss tonight, so please call everyone back. Well, have dinner with the He family. They'll take care of inviting them. Next is the invitation to the Zhou family. Uncle Zhou. It's me, Shan Shan. I'm back in the country, and since school is on break, I would like to invite you and Auntie out for a meal. My parents are here too. Yes. I'll just inform Brother Chuanqing on my end. All right. The final step is to send a WeChat message to He Chuanqing. Brother Chuanqing, dinner is at 7 tonight. I've arranged for both families to eat together at the top floor private room of Xinyue Tower. All right. I happen to have something to say as well. Hearing him call me brother made me feel sick, but thinking about the benefits it could bring to our family, and how both sets of parents would compensate me with clothes and jewelry out of guilt, I endured it. The meal was very enjoyable, with top-notch ingredients, harmonious relationships, and a collaboration about to be finalized. At the dining table, Auntie kept urging He Chuanqing to serve me food, but he remained unmoved. While I secretly hoped he wouldn't, but I had to pretend to understand him, so it would be easier for me to continue with my performance. It's okay, Auntie. Brother Chuanqing must be tired. Oh my God. I was still making excuses for him. I really am so understanding. After dinner, Auntie he pulled me along to the restroom to touch up her makeup. On the way back, I saw someone who shouldn't be here's Wiqing, He Chuanqing's little lover. This is so interesting. I could tell from the way she was looking around that she was here to find us. A members-only restaurant wouldn't let a stranger in, so it seems He Chuanqing must have brought her here for a meal. I should thank her, as this adds another piece of evidence to He Chuanqing's infidelity. I deliberately pretended not to see her and loudly praised the aunt's new necklace. Auntie, this necklace of yours is really beautiful. When did you order it? Isn't it pretty? When we get back, they'll have someone customize one for you too. Auntie, how can I accept this? What's there to be embarrassed about? You are our He family's daughter-in-law, and this is what you deserve. I quietly turned back at the corner, and sure enough, Switching had followed me when I entered. I deliberately left the door slightly ajar. The show was about to begin. As soon as I sat down, I heard Uncle He suggest that the two of us should get married soon. And as he spoke, he drifted back to discussing the collaboration project between our families. Dad raised his glass and smiled, saying, "Let the children decide on their own matters. I've already handed this project over to Cheenan to handle." Then he raised his hand to beckon my elder brother. "Cheenan, come, talk to your Uncle He about the project." My elder brother deliberately replied loudly, "I don't think that's necessary. Whether these two companies can collaborate is still up in the air. Don't you think?" Qi Chuanxing. The harmonious atmosphere at the dining table was shattered. Everyone turned to Qi Chuanxing, trying to get a reasonable explanation from him. Qi Chuanxing opened his mouth, then closed it again. I could feel his struggle. His hands under the table were about to bleed from clenching so tightly. My brother continued to ask, "What's wrong? Aren't you going to introduce us to your new girlfriend?" I quickly stepped in to save him. "Big brother, what are you talking about? Stop teasing Chuanxing. I'm just his girlfriend. We're doing well, and once I graduate, well, get married." The sister-in-law of the He family chimed in. "Yeah, what could these two possibly have? I saw Chuanxing ordering a ring at B the other day. The diamond was so beautiful. I was envious. Hurry up and show it to Shan. Huh. Have he and Zwiqing already reached the proposal stage? That's fast." I decided to add more fuel to the fire. "Really, brother Chuanxing? Shan is really looking forward to it." I sat beside him, looking at him with eager eyes while cursing him in my heart. "Dog man. Can't get it up anymore. Huh." I just caught a glimpse of it reflecting light in Left Qing's hand. The dining table fell silent for 2 minutes because He Chuanxing was slow to take out his gift. I glanced at my father's expression. He was already somewhat angry, but still within a controllable range. Was he really angry because he felt sorry for me? I felt that I was only part of the reason. The other part was because He Chuanxing disrespected me, which was a disrespect to my family. My father felt humiliated by a younger generation. Eldest brother mocked. "Qi Chuanxing, the ring isn't for your little lover, is it?" "No. I didn't bring it with me." Everyone is quite perceptive and probably knows what this means. The faces of the He family changed. The collaboration between the two families had always been led by ours. Without the He family, there would still be the Sun family and the Wang family. So compared to our family, the He family needs this marriage more. Is it really not on fire yet? Let me put in some more effort. I pretended to change the subject, but in reality, I was getting straight to the point. "Brother Chuanxing, you mentioned on the phone that you had something to announce. What is it? Is it about our marriage?" Qi Chuanxing suddenly stood up, looking down as he said to me, Shan. Zwiqing couldn't help but rush in from outside, pointing at my nose and cursing. "Zhou Shan. Do you have no shame? I've told you many times that he won't marry you. Are you deaf?" Well, the protagonist has made her entrance. It's time for me to step aside. I looked into He Chuanxing's eyes and questioned, "Is this what you want to tell me, brother Chuanxing? Who is she?" Zwiqing replied with an air of superiority, "I am his wife." I was in disbelief. How is that possible? Brother Chuanxing and I are engaged. How could he marry you? Zwiqing proudly extended her right hand, the large diamond ring from the B family sparkling dazzlingly under the light on her ring finger. It flashed before my eyes, illuminating the faces of the He family, their expressions a mix of pale and purple. I hugged He Chuanxing's arm tightly. "Brother Chuanxing, what is going on? Who is she?" I want to hear you say it yourself. Switching glared at me and pushed me away. Please have some self-respect and let go of my husband. Ki father slammed the table. Shut your mouth. Ki Chuan Sheng. I don't care who this woman is. Get her out of here immediately. My daughter-in-law can only be Shan, not this woman who spews lies. If you ask me, his father's statement was already quite polite. I would call her the mistress. Ki Chuan Sheng, facing his father's furious gaze, bravely said, Dad. Ching Ching is not just anyone. She is my legally wedded wife. We have already registered our marriage. The waves stirred up by this statement were not small. I looked at Sui Qing, exclaiming, So those photos were sent to me by you? Father, he directly asked. What photos? Let me see. I took out my phone. It's just some of their private photos. Under He Chuanqing's incredulous gaze and Sui Qing's evasive eyes, everyone passed around the photos. And my older brother even accidentally played that ambiguous recording. The He family was too embarrassed to lift their heads. My dad was so angry he left the room on the spot. My mom followed closely behind. A few of my brothers ran after them, and my eldest brother stayed behind, pretending to pull me away. I put on a look of a lovesick little flower. Big brother, I don't believe that Chuanqing brother would treat me like this. I want to stay and hear him explain. It might be a misunderstanding. Ki Chuanqing finally stood up and said a complete sentence. Shan, I'm serious. Don't invest your feelings in me anymore. I'm the one who has let you down. Only when I'm with Qing do I feel free. I don't want to be bound by my family anymore. I hope you can give me freedom. And I also hope you can find your own happiness. It's truly laughable. When enjoying the benefits brought by the family, you take it for granted. But now that you need to make a sacrifice, you say you want freedom. What a double standard. I put on a face as if the sky had fallen, and was led away by my brother in a daze. As soon as I stepped out of the private room, I heard a series of loud noises from inside, along with a woman's cries and a man's angry shouts. A waiter passed by, and I thought, why not go all out with the act? I pretended to cry sadly, burying my head in my brother's shoulder, and whispered, These past couple of days, you've worked hard, big brother, put in some extra hours, and when the money comes in, don't forget our 60-40 split. Big brother comfortingly patted my shoulder, his expression of concern starkly contrasting with his words. All right. These few days let your sister-in-law take you out shopping. Buy whatever you like. Big brother will pay. And so, after returning home, I spent a few days indulging in extravagance, while the collaboration between the Zhou group and the He group fell into a stalemate. I don't know who spread the rumor, but it was said that the Zhou and He families had a falling out, and the collaboration was about to be cancelled. I received about 10 messages in one night inviting me out, all trying to gather information. I didn't agree to any of them. First, I went on a shopping spree a couple of days ago, and then I've been holed up at home these past few days, solidifying the fact that I was heartbroken. I didn't even accept the invitations from He's mother and the women of the He family. I just replied that I was feeling very confused and didn't want to go. In fact, I was waiting for my older brother to finish the new project proposal and contract to reallocate the interests of both families. The He family wronged the Zhou family first. Asking for a bit more money isn't unreasonable, is it? As time went by, the collaborative project between the two families stagnated, solidifying the rumors of their fractured relationship. Men began asking me out, and many approached my father directly, expressing their willingness to form a marriage alliance with our family. TSK. I was quite in demand. The He family grew anxious, with their womenfolk sending me messages and calling, but I still refused to go. Finally, one day, my elder brother said that everything was ready on their side, and it was my turn to step up and represent the Zhou family in making a statement to the He family. I accepted Mrs. He's invitation to attend the banquet tomorrow night, meeting my ex-boyfriend. How could I not dress up for the occasion? That evening, I wore the haute couture dress that had just arrived a few days ago, stepped into high heels, with an exquisite makeup look and a voluminous hairstyle. I was in great spirits. As I walked to the door, I saw Mrs. He, the eldest daughter-in-law of the He family, welcoming guests. The dark circles under her eyes were almost unbearable. I leaned in and affectionately linked my arm with hers. Big sister, you look a bit unwell. Did you not sleep well last night? Chan is here. Huh. Sigh. I have too many worries on my mind. You should go in quickly. Mother-in-law is waiting for you inside. As I walked in, every member of the He family I encountered had a pale expression. It seems that our family's collaboration is very important to them. My initial confidence of 50% has now turned into 80%. When I reached Mother He, she was publicly scolding Zwiching. Useless thing. You can't even handle such a small matter. Don't think that just because you're pregnant I won't dare to touch you. The He family doesn't lack this one child. I thought so. It turns out that Zwiching hasn't been kicked out of the He family because she's pregnant. But looking at her like this, even though she's pregnant, her days in the He family aren't that good. I once again took out a warm smile and approached her. Auntie, long time no see. How come you look younger again? Please share your secret with me. Auntie smiled when she saw me. Chan is here. Come over and let Auntie take a look. You look so beautiful today. Chan. This secret of mine can only be passed on to my own daughter-in-law. If you come and be my daughter-in-law, then I'll tell you. Auntie. Mom. Zwiching and I spoke at the same time. Mother He patted my hand and then turned to Zwiching and said, Who allowed you to call me Mom? Mother He said angrily. Not even having the wedding yet. And she's already rushing to call my mom. Truly uncultured. Then she took my hand and led me to chat with the socialites, leaving Zwiching standing awkwardly in place. Throughout the entire banquet, He's mother kept holding my hand, taking me around, while Zwiching awkwardly walked behind us. Surrounded by disdainful glances, her affair with He Chuanxing was no secret. The married women in the circle despised her type the most provocative and yet successful in her role as a mistress so naturally. They showed her no kindness. I wouldn't feel sorry for her. This is just one of the prices that a mistress has to pay. At that moment, He Chuanxing came over and said that his father wanted to see me for something. I readily agreed to go with him, and his mother, looking very happy, urged us to hurry. As if she really enjoyed seeing the two of us together, leaving Zwiching standing alone with her head down, her expression obscure. His father indeed called me over for the cooperation between our two families. Sean, this matter is our He family's fault towards you. I hope you can go back and persuade your father and your brother to reconsider the cooperation between our two families. Has the cooperation between our families stopped? How could this happen? I'm sorry, Uncle He. My brother might be acting out to vent his frustrations for me. I'll have a good talk with him when I get back. He's being too willful. Don't worry, Uncle He. I won't let my issues affect the relationship between our families. But just a heads up about my brother, Uncle He. Be prepared. He might deliberately ask for some benefits as compensation. Uncle He let out a sigh of relief. That's all right. As long as the cooperation can proceed smoothly. Besides, how can this be just your issue? It's Chuanxing who has wronged you. You haven't done anything wrong. On the way back to the lobby on the first floor, He Chuanxing spoke to me. Shan. I'm sorry. It's okay. Brother Chuanxing, you're right. You really shouldn't be bound by a family marriage. You don't have to feel guilty about me. I willingly let you go. After all, you paid a hefty ransom for me. We chatted happily all the way. As for whether Miss Swa, who had been eavesdropping behind us, was happy or not, I had no idea. As the banquet drew to a close, Mother He brought out a jewelry box from upstairs and opened it in front of everyone. Inside was a custom-made necklace, adorned with several large diamonds that looked heavy just to behold. I noticed the greedy glint in Zui Qing's eyes. It was clear she desperately wanted that necklace. However, given Mother He's evident dislike for her, it was impossible for her to prepare the necklace for her. Coincidentally, I had just brought news of a collaboration between the two families. So this necklace should be. Mother He placed the necklace around my neck and even pulled He Chuanqing over to praise me, completely indifferent to Zui Qing's feelings. It was said that that night, He Chuanqing and Zui Qing had a huge fight, and Zui Qing even threatened to run away from home, causing unrest in the He family. The next day, when He Chuanqing went to work, there were scratch marks on his face, and he was removed from the collaborative project because of this incident. After this matter was settled, I continued my studies abroad. By the time I returned home with my diploma, Zui Qing's child had already been born. I heard he was named He Qihuan, but I have never seen him. Due to Zui Qing's lamentations, He Chuanqing severed ties with the He family and left with his wife and child. In the 3 years that followed, I did not see them again. I only heard intermittently that Zui Qing, unable to bear the mundane life of daily necessities, abandoned her child and He Chuanqing to run away with her first love abroad. He Chuanqing still had some backbone. He did not apologize to the family but instead raised the child alone until the age of 3. Thinking back to the things I did to get back at them, and then looking at the money in my account. TSK. I really am a bad woman. I am already 26 this year, at the age when one should get married. Almost everyone around me has been married off by their families, while I, on the other hand, had my engagement broken and my family hasn't found me another match. I believe they want to maximize my value by marrying me off to a family that is wealthier and more powerful than mine, to serve as a second wife or something. My guess has come true. I heard from my sister-in-law that my parents are preparing to marry me off to the head of the Li family, Li Changxing. I had the fortune of meeting him once. He is 5 years older than my dad, and his belly is round from drinking at the table, even bigger than my sister-in-law's belly when she was pregnant with twins. It is said that the rooms in their villa are not enough for his illegitimate children to live in. Marrying into that family is not about being a stepmother, is it? It's more like going to be the head of the harem. I can't just sit and wait. But there are no suitable marriage partners among families of equal standing around me. My best friend slammed the table. What do you mean there aren't any? There's He Chuanqing. Please don't disgust me. Okay. If he cheated once, he can cheat a second time. What if he's still thinking about his ex-wife? Wouldn't that make me a fool? At least he has just one child. And he's not bad looking either. Do you know why he hasn't returned to the He family all this time? Why? Because there was no opportunity. And the He family couldn't find a suitable chance to call him back. Now that you've appeared, if everyone discovers that you've been deeply in love with him all along, won't that settle the matter? Aside from cheating on his ex-wife, he hasn't really done anything wrong. Your standards for people are too low. Isn't fidelity the most basic requirement in a marriage? My best friend scoffed and laughed. What you're talking about is the marriage of ordinary people. Are you an ordinary person? Zhou Shanshan. I am certainly not an ordinary person. But that's not the reason I have to turn back and eat the bitter grass. Right. 2 days later, I compromised. There are indeed choices in this world that are worse than turning back to the bitter grass. Old lecher. I looked at Li Changxing across from me, his face full of wrinkles as he smiled and tried to hold my little hand, and I decided to take the initiative to reject him. Sorry, Uncle Li, I don't have any other feelings for you. Hey, Shan Shan, we can cultivate this feeling slowly. We have plenty of time. How can this old man be so thick-skinned? I forced a smile and said nothing, but he didn't care. He was already discussing how many shares our family would bring as a dowry. It seems he is not only attracted to my beauty but also to the shares of my family. Just as I was anxious to get away, I happened to see Mother He coming around the corner with the He family's eldest daughter-in-law. I frowned and said to Li Changxing, Uncle Li, I think it's still too early for us to discuss these things. Li Changxing looked unconcerned. I see your family has this intention. It's just right for our two families to cooperate. And we can leave the He family behind. The He family has been on a downward slope in recent years. Our cooperation is the right path. The timing of my words was just right. This sentence thrown at the He family was perfectly overheard by Mother He. I noticed the shadow on the ground beside me suddenly slow its movement. I decisively interrupted him. Uncle Lee, I don't quite understand what you're saying. But I know that the cooperation between the Zhou and He families has lasted a long time. My father and brother have long since planned the future direction of the company. So you don't need to worry about our family. Excuse me. I walked towards the restroom. Hearing someone following me from behind, no matter who it was, I had to put on a show in front of them. A show about how I had always been infatuated with He Chuanxing, deeply in love, and would marry no one but him. It would be best if I could deceive myself. I stood in front of the mirror, recalling my uncontrollable marriage. No matter how strong I felt inside, I couldn't help but shed a few tears. The more I thought about it, the more aggrieved I felt. And under the sound of the faucet, I broke down and cried. Then, while crying, I couldn't forget to maintain my infatuated persona. During the pauses, I had to shout a few times the name of He Chuanxing, or else these tears would be wasted. I, Zhou Shanshan, am such a miserable girl. I cried hard. And the person who had been following me couldn't help but show up. It was Aunt He. I quickly raised my hand to wipe my tears. Auntie, what brings you here? He mother raised her hand and handed me a handkerchief. Child, take this and use it. I never expected you to still be so infatuated with Chuanxing. To know you is a blessing for Chuanxing. I began to speak in a teasing manner. How could that be? Meeting brother Chuanxing is my blessing. Let me just quietly like him by myself. Auntie, please don't tell brother. I'm afraid it will delay his search for a partner in the future. I'm also worried that he might feel troubled by this. I'm begging you. Auntie, please don't tell anyone. Okay. Because others know that I said this. I would really be so embarrassed. So please don't tell anyone. Auntie has always known your feelings for Chuanxing. If it weren't for that woman being pregnant with our family's child, I wouldn't have let her step through the door at all. I never expected that woman would dare to incite Chuanxing to sever ties with us. It really makes me so angry. I hurriedly dropped the handkerchief in, just like 3 years ago, carefully patted Auntie's back to soothe her. And I spoke to comfort her. Auntie, don't be angry. Isn't it a good thing that such a woman is leaving brother Chuanxing? It will allow brother Chuanxing to see her true colors. He mother suddenly grasped my hand. Shan. I just saw it too. Your family arranged for you to meet Li Changxing. Is it to discuss your marriage? Which son of the Li family do they want to marry you off to? I remembered that the unmarried ones are all illegitimate children. Right. Do they deserve you? Auntie, you are too naive. I covered my face, wanting to escape this topic. Aunt, please don't ask. She seemed to have guessed something. Shan, rather than marrying Li, why don't you come to our family? You like Chuanxing so much. Just marry into our family. After returning home, I negotiated with my dad in the study. Under my father's surprised gaze, I made a promise that within 6 months, I would surely win He Chuanxing back, bring him back to the He family, and then marry me. I stood in front of the old residential building, the lingering scent of dust clinging to my nose. In my hand, I carried a transformer and a car model specifically bought for the child, while the driver behind me held some fruits and vegetables, the child's clothes, and a suit that had been rummaged from my brother's wardrobe, never worn. Climbing to the top floor, I knocked on the door. And it was He Chuanxing who answered. I raised a warm smile. Brother Chuanxing, Shan has come to see you. Look at what I brought for you. He Chuanxing looked surprised. Shan, how did you get here? How did you find this place? I didn't answer his question, but directly asked him, Isn't my brother inviting me in? The things in my hands are so heavy, they're hurting my grip. He hesitated for a moment, then turned to let me in. After the driver came in and set down the things, I sent him away. I sat comfortably on the sofa, secretly observing the room. It looked very lively, with a mix of children's and adults' belongings scattered together. This is a polished way of saying it. The reality is chaos. Utter chaos. Adults' and children's clothes are piled together. The coffee table is littered with leftover takeout boxes, and there are a few cigarette butts on the floor that haven't been cleaned up. I began to use this as a starting point to express concern for his health. I remember you used to not smoke. I picked it up in the past few years. Don't smoke anymore. It's bad for your health, especially with kids at home. You can't let them be exposed to secondhand smoke. He stared at me intently. Sean, what exactly are you here for? I thought to myself. Of course, it's to take you back and marry me. Before I could answer, I saw a little head peeking out from the crack of a door. My eyes lit up. Is this Chi Huan? He looks so adorable. Qi Chuansheng waved his hand, signaling Chi Huan to come over. But Chi Huan seemed a bit timid, shrinking back and not daring to come out. I took out the toys directly. Auntie bought Chi Huan a lot of toys and clothes. Come here quickly. He walked over shyly, and before long, he was immersed in my sweet talk. After soothing the little one, I still had to comfort the older one. I started to check in daily, taking the kids to the amusement park, dining out with them, handling everything for the two of them. Finally, after my relentless efforts, Qi Chuanqing confessed his feelings to me. Upon hearing him say he liked me, my first reaction was relief. I finally didn't have to marry Li Changxing. God knows how many times I had to reject his date invitations every day. I then began to subtly suggest to He Chuanqing through everyday little things that it was time for him to take the kids back to the He family. For example, why doesn't the kindergarten in Chihuan have bilingual education? It's very important for children. I remember we had it when we were young. Otherwise, they'll find a way to transfer him to that famous private kindergarten. Has Chihuan never been on a spring outing? How can that be? Chihuan wants to learn to paint. Great. They'll have someone at home pull some strings to find him a master to teach him painting. Brother Chuanxing. I feel that the educational resources here are not very good, and that puts the children at a disadvantage right from the start. A month later, I accidentally let him discover Li Changxing's intentions towards me, and I began to hint at him indirectly with tea talk. This Uncle Li is the new marriage candidate my family has chosen for me. His family has a large company, and we are somewhat of a match in terms of social standing. But as long as I don't like it, I want compromise. Just like you, Brother Chuanxing, did back then. It's just that my parents are not easy to talk to. You wouldn't abandon me because of this, would you? He looked at me affectionately and said, Shan, I've made up my mind. Tomorrow, I will go home and admit my mistakes. You were right before. Neither Chihuan nor you should have to stay here with me just for my pitiful pride. Wasting time, Brother Chuanxing. How can being with you be called wasting time? This is all something I willingly choose. Soon, we held our wedding, and the two families reconciled once again. The declining He family group welcomed a glimmer of hope. In the second year after our marriage, I gave birth to our youngest son, He Qianan. He Chihuan has always known that I am not his biological mother and has seen a photo of his real mother, but he has always relied on me. I filled the void in his heart when he needed maternal love the most. Watching the child shyly run upstairs, I called out behind him, Be careful. Don't bump into anything. I fell into deep thought. I only learned some news this afternoon about Sui Qing's return to the country. I didn't expect her to be so well prepared this time, catching me off guard. I never imagined she had already taken a position at the kindergarten my son attends. I looked down at my phone, and now I had a better way to deal with her. First, I called my best friend. Her youngest son is in the same class as Anan. When I told her about the situation, she was very angry and said she would help me contact the other parents in the class. If this were just a family matter, she might have only given me advice and not taken direct action. But this was no longer just my family matter. It involved the education of the children, and we couldn't allow such a woman to be our children's teacher. There are a total of 10 children in the class, and my best friend and I each contacted 4. Arranging to meet at the kindergarten gate tomorrow morning under the pretext of planning extracurricular activities, and then naturally asking if they knew that the children had recently gotten a new teacher. Parents go to great lengths to ensure their children's safety. Thoroughly investigating the backgrounds of teachers and ensuring that they come from reputable families and are graduates of prestigious schools. Teachers like switching, who come in through the back door, certainly do not follow the proper channels. In this kindergarten, every child comes from a wealthy or influential family, and any changes in teaching staff must be communicated to every parent. For instance, last year, when they replaced an English teacher, it was only after a thorough assessment and background check by all the parents that the new teacher was allowed to start. This time, I did not receive any notification from the kindergarten about a new teacher for the children, which suggests that someone helped her get in through the back door. After I reveal this news to the other parents, all I have to do is wait, because that woman, Zui Qing, simply can't withstand any background checks. A few years ago, when He Chuanxing first got together with her, I investigated her. Since middle school, she has had countless boyfriends before being with He Chuanxing, and her romantic history, printed on A4 paper, is as thick as half a Xinhua dictionary. Considering that the person who helped her get through the back door might cover up all the things she has done, even creating a shiny, prestigious resume for her, I made 2 preparations. I copied about 10 copies of the information I had previously gathered, planning to send them to the parents tomorrow. People like Switching don't need me to take action. She can ruin herself all on her own. In the evening, He Chuanxing returned home, and An was the first to rush over, and He Chuanxing hugged her tightly, playing with her until it was time to eat. The cheerful atmosphere at the dinner table was suddenly disrupted, and An asked, "Daddy, what is a third party?" The 3 of them fell silent. I couldn't speak. He Chihuan was too embarrassed to say anything, and He Chuanxing was so taken aback that he couldn't find his voice. He Chuanxing asked seriously, "Anan, that's a very inappropriate word. Who taught you that?" Anan looked very uneasy. "She is the new teacher, Ms. Zua. She said I am the child of a third party." He Chihuan lowered his head and picked at the rice in his bowl. "Dad, she came to find me today." He Chuanxing frowned, then said to Anan, "That teacher is a bad person. She's speaking ill of your mother. Remember to keep your distance from her." Got it. After the meal, He Chihuan lowered his head and came to apologize to me. I smiled and comforted him. "It's okay, Chihuan. It's not your fault. I've already scheduled a time with Professor Wang for this week. Remember to go to class, Mom. Don't worry about me. Just get her out of here." Okay. Before going to bed that night, He Chuanxing said to me, "I still have some evidence of her taking all my money back then. I'll organize it tomorrow, and we'll go to the police." Chuanxing, "Let me handle this matter for now." "All right. You vent your frustrations first. This situation has been unfair to you." I took the printed materials and brought it into the kindergarten. As soon as I stopped the car, an ANS homeroom teacher came forward to open the car door, wanting to carry in and out. "Teacher Wang, please wait a moment," I said with a smile. "I heard from Anan that a new teacher has joined the class. Why didn't anyone tell me? Do you think it's unnecessary to inform me? Or do you think this little matter doesn't need to be known by the parents, and the kindergarten can decide on its own?" After a brief pause, Teacher Wang hurriedly explained to me, "Well, an ANS mom. This new teacher was hired by the kindergarten specifically to supervise the children's extracurricular activities. She doesn't teach the kids. She just helps look after them during those activities. She's part of the support staff. So we didn't notify the parents. I said directly, as long as anyone comes into contact with our children. We parents hope to be informed immediately. I hope such things won't happen in the future. Teacher Wang also took the initiative to admit the mistake. I'm sorry. Anan's mother. This is also our first time recruiting such support staff externally. This is a lapse in our work. And we will actively improve. I hope you can understand. I no longer made things difficult for Teacher Wang. Then ill trouble Teacher Wang. By the way, Teacher Wang, could you send me the resume of this caregiver? Without a word, Teacher Wang immediately started searching on her phone. I happen to have an electronic version on hand. I'll send it to you. I opened the email sent by Teacher Wang, first looking at the photo. And sure enough, it was switching. The educational background on the resume was also impressive, especially the part about her getting into a prestigious foreign graduate school a few years after graduating from university. Followed by her experience studying abroad, abandoning her child to sign the divorce agreement, then running off with all of He Chuanqing's assets and escaping the country with her first love was all dressed up as studying abroad. She really has a knack for spinning tales. As I flipped through this forged resume, I struck up a conversation with Teacher Wang. I remember that previously there were enough teachers to look after the children. Why are we still hiring now? Teacher Wang also sighed deeply. Yes. It was originally enough. But a couple of days ago, a few kids Li Mushing, Li Tanxin, and Shan Jiaka got into a fight during an extracurricular activity. It caused quite a stir, and the school is worried that one teacher can't supervise 10 kids at the same time during these activities. Which is why they found a new supervising teacher. I spoke directly to Teacher Wang. Teacher Wang, I just took a quick look, and I feel that this switching has some issues. Could you please not let her interact with my child today? Okay. But may I ask, what issues does an ANS mom think she has? Do you need me to talk to the other parents about it? She is my husband's ex-wife. You don't know. Teacher Wang, she scolded in yesterday. I'm here to understand the situation from you all today. As for the other parents, I will tell them everything as it is. Teacher Wang's eyes widened. How can she speak to a child like that? I need to report this to the principal and have her dismissed. Teacher Wang, don't be anxious. We parents can handle her dismissal. If you speak up, it might affect your reputation at work. I'll take my leave now. I'll leave Anan in your care. Teacher Wang held an ANS hand and said to her, Anan, say goodbye to mommy. Goodbye, mom. I should go to my stage and perform. To show my sincerity. I had the driver stop the car across the street and stood at the kindergarten entrance waiting for them. When I saw these parents, I noticed their expressions were quite good, suggesting they hadn't uncovered the true background of switching. What they found must have been fabricated. It seems that the person behind the scenes helping switching with the forgery is quite capable, able to deceive so many powerful and influential parents. I stepped forward and blocked each of them, inviting them to the private room I had reserved for dim sum. After a round of pleasantries, my best friend and I exchanged glances, and she spoke first. Everyone. Today we are discussing extracurricular activities, which is just a small matter. The more important issue is about the new teacher. Before anyone could react, I stood up and bowed to apologize. First of all, I want to say I'm sorry to everyone here. It's because of our family's issues that this happened. I'm truly sorry. Then, Mrs. Zhao covered her mouth, looking utterly shocked. Mrs. Qi, what are you doing? I had someone check on this teacher last night, and everything about her looks clean. Besides, even if there were issues with this teacher, what does it have to do with you, Mrs. Qi? Others chimed in. Yes. Yes. My best friend and I began to distribute the materials. I'm sorry to inform everyone that what you've seen is all fabricated by her. This document I have is the real her. A lady. clearly not very convinced that she had been deceived, raised the document in her hand and asked me, "How did Mrs. He come to know this so-called truth?" I replied with a calm expression, "She is my husband's ex-wife." Everyone fell silent, eagerly flipping through the materials I had sent. After reviewing the documents, they immediately erupted. Mrs. Zhao was the most furious. Her mother had been driven to death by a mistress, and the thing she hated most in life was being a third party. Is this how they conduct recruitment at the kindergarten? Why are they hiring all sorts of filthy and rotten people? If my child turns out bad, I won't let them off the hook. I let out a long sigh and bowed again. This ultimately stems from our He family's failure to manage our family affairs properly. On behalf of the He family, I would like to apologize to everyone here. My best friend took the lead in advising me not to take everything upon myself. This isn't your fault. The one to blame is that shameless switching. Exactly. The resume is forged, and the emotional aspect is even more disgusting. So what should we do now? Is there even a need to ask? Of course. We just need to kick her out of kindergarten. But we still don't know who is helping her cover up her background. Wouldn't acting rashly offend the people behind her? As soon as these words were spoken, the room fell silent, leaving only the sound of my teacup clinking as I set it down. After catching my eye, my best friend said, "Mrs. He is here. What are you afraid of? Just go ahead and do it. Is there anything that the Zhou family and the He family can't suppress?" I also comforted them. "Everyone, don't worry. If anything happens, they'll take the blame. And I already know who's behind this. There's no need for me to get involved in the follow-up matters. I just need to sit in the car and enjoy the sight of Suiqing being thrown out from the main gate." Seeing her in such a sorry state, I was overjoyed. "Uncle Chen, drive over." My car stopped in front of Suiqing. The window slowly rolled down, revealing my face full of schadenfreude. "Miss Swa, we meet again. It seems you haven't been doing so well." I then took out a $10 bill that I had specifically prepared for her and threw it out the window. "Here, take it. Consider it a reward for giving me a good stepson. Don't think it's too little. After all, you're worth just that much. Daring to say such filthy words to my son. This is your retribution." She held back her anger. "How dare you treat me like this? He Chuanqing won't let you off. You don't really think He Chuanqing still loves you, do you? Where does your confidence come from? Don't you know He Chuanqing is planning to accuse you of breaking and entering? See you at the police station next time." Suiqing. In the afternoon, He Chuanqing and I went to the police station with evidence to report the crime. Just as we reached the entrance, He Chuanqing said he had left something in the car. So I waited for him at the door while he went across the street to get it. He had just reached the middle of the road when a car sped by and knocked him down. I stood frozen in terror as a woman got out of the car. It was Suiqing. She didn't spare a glance at He Chuanqing but instead ran towards me with a dagger she had taken from the car. I hurriedly ran into the police station to seek help. It took 4 or 5 officers working together to subdue her. Watching her being pinned to the ground while still struggling desperately, and looking at her fierce face, I felt that her mental state was extremely agitated. "She couldn't be," an older police officer said. "Notify the drug enforcement team over there." Hearing this, my legs went weak. Just thinking about the time she had spent with An filled me with dread. At that moment, I thought of He Chuanqing, who had been knocked away, and hurriedly inquired. A female officer helped me up, handed me a cup of hot water, and comforted me by saying, "Don't worry, we've already called an ambulance for your husband. We'll send someone to go to the hospital with you shortly. Don't worry, he will be okay." I sat at the entrance of the intensive care unit, watching He Chuanqing, who was covered in tubes. A hand patted my shoulder. Shan, try to take it easy. We have more important things to do." He Chuanqing lay in the intensive care unit for half a month. But in the end, he still died. On the day of the burial, Every member of the He family appeared at the cemetery without exception. I cried for 3 days straight. My eyes swollen like peaches, while Chi Huan and Anan kept crying beside me. Ki's father and mother, with white hair sending off their black-haired son. The sorrowful atmosphere spread through the air. Suddenly, a discordant voice emerged. Dad, Mom, the third one is gone. So shouldn't his shares be redistributed? Yeah, we can't leave it to an outsider. Can we? The speaker was the eldest son of the He family and his wife. As soon as He Chuanqing died, they were already thinking about the little shares he held. The sound of crying at the scene came to a halt, and a suffocating silence filled the air. I wiped my tears and turned back with red-rimmed eyes, asking, "What does this mean, big brother? It's one thing for you to say I'm an outsider, but are Chi Huan and Anan also outsiders?" My gaze swept over every member of the He family who had come to pay their respects, but they all avoided my eyes, including Father He and Mother He. I sneered coldly in my heart. No wonder He Chuanqing was unwilling to associate much with his relatives. These were not family, but a pack of wolves and tigers gnawing on human bones. I told them that this matter needed further discussion and asked them to wait at the He family's old residence. I would find them after I finished handling He Chuanqing's funeral. Thus, the He family members left promptly. Not a single one stayed behind. I brought Anan and He Chihuan back to the Zhou family, had the nanny take care of them, changed into a new outfit, put on makeup, and went to the He family's old residence with my elder brother and the lawyer. As soon as I entered, the He family members all stared at me greedily, as if they wanted to suck blood from me. However, when the lawyer I brought announced He Chuanqing's will, they were shocked. What? You mean the third brother had already made a will dividing his shares equally between Zhou Shanshan and the 2 children, with Zhou Shanshan managing them until the children come of age? When did this happen? Why don't we all know? Zhou Shanshan, it's you, isn't it? You forged this will. What on earth is going on? I slowly took off my sunglasses and put them in my bag, seemingly deaf to their accusations. My elder brother, as my spokesperson, spoke up. This will was made a long time ago, and you need not doubt anything. Since we can present it today, it proves that this will can withstand scrutiny. You are free to investigate. He father and he mother also furrowed their brows, clearly dissatisfied with He Chuanqing's decision to make a will, but they were helpless, as it was protected by law and they could not interfere. Some members of the He family, having recognized the facts, gave up the argument, while the main branch of the He family was still struggling desperately. Dad, Mom, let's hurry and bring the 2 kids back. We must get the kids on our side. I smiled and said the first thing that came to my mind after entering. So, do you think the kids are closer to you or closer to me? Sister-in-law He was so furious that she was breathing heavily through her nostrils, pointing at my nose and unable to speak. I no longer paid her any attention and had the lawyer read out a gift agreement regarding Mr. Zhou Kainan's voluntary transfer of 4 of the shares of the He group he had acquired to Miss Zhou Shanshan. They were left in a fog, and only a few faces gradually turned pale. Mrs. He directly interrupted the lawyer. Enough. Stop reading. Zhou Shanshan, tell us, what exactly do you want? I burst out laughing. Auntie, didn't you understand what I meant? I gestured for her to look at her father, who was pale and on the verge of collapse beside her. She hurried to support him. Honey, what's wrong? Speak to me. The eldest sister-in-law of the He family was also somewhat at a loss at the scene before her, just urging the eldest son of the He family to say something. The eldest son of the He family sat dejectedly on the ground, murmuring to himself, "It's over. All over." Seeing the chaos in the He family, I kindly began to explain to them. I have in my hands the bride price that the He family gave to the Zhou family at the time of marriage, which includes 5 of He group's shares. My brother transferred to me all the scattered shares he acquired in the market yesterday, and combined with the 2 left to me in He Chuanqing's will, and the 4 reserved for the 2 children, I now hold a total of 15 of the shares. which is more than any one of you here. So what? Even if you have so many shares, what difference does it make? In the shareholders' meeting, we, the He family, still hold the majority of the shares. My elder brother directly threw out a sentence. I advise those of you who hold shares in the He family to sell them to me as soon as possible when the time comes. After all, keeping them in your hands will only lead to losses. Mother, he retorted. You're talking nonsense. How could our He family lose money? We clearly have a. Eldest brother laughed. What's going on? A big project. If I remember correctly, your biggest project right now is the collaboration with the Zhou family. What if the Zhou family breaches the contract now, and you end up with unsellable goods? Before leaving, my brother dropped a stack of business cards. These are my assistant's business cards. If anyone wants to sell their shares to me, you can contact my assistant. I will offer you a satisfactory price. And the deadline is before the public announcement by the Securities Regulatory Commission next week. My brother and I sat in the back seat of the car, discussing our next steps. As we were nearing home, I sincerely congratulated him. Big brother. Completing the acquisition of the He Group this time is quite an achievement. Right. Dad will surely praise you endlessly. Yeah. This time it was really thanks to your cooperation. If you hadn't moved He Chuanqing after giving birth and made him write a will, we would still be negotiating this matter today. But big brother shouldn't let his guard down. I heard that second brother has recently secured a major overseas project, and his momentum might temporarily overshadow yours. Hearing this, my elder brother also felt a wave of irritation. I don't know where the second brother found such a master, guiding him step by step, and he really managed to get this done. I also sighed. So there are always people better than us, and beyond them, even more skilled individuals. Elder brother, you must stay alert at all times. Our future depends entirely on you. Keep it up. Elder brother, my two nephews and I are counting on you to support us. A year later, the Zhou family successfully acquired the He family. I came once again to the grave of He Chuanqing to pay my respects. I opened my mouth, wanting to say something to him, but in the end, I said nothing. The fine drizzle hit my face, and I realized I hadn't brought an umbrella. Turning around, I saw someone who shouldn't be here. Shan, do you regret it? No. We've come this far. There's no turning back now. We can only move forward. Then let's go. It's time for the shareholders' meeting at the company, the final act. And you are the star. I walked alongside him. Moving forward, brother, I really never thought about letting He Chuanqing die. I'm afraid the child won't have a father, and it won't be good for his growth. Zhou Group shareholders meeting. As soon as I entered, I headed straight for the seat next to my elder brother and plopped down in the chair beside him. Elder brother, how many people did you pull in? With a 30 stake. Plus the two of us. That's 40. We can definitely outvote the second one. I couldn't help but give a thumbs up. Big brother is impressive. At that moment, Dad stood up and announced to the shareholders below that he was going to retire. At this shareholders meeting, we need to vote to determine who will serve as the next chairman. Now, please raise your hands if you wish to abstain. After counting, the number of abstentions is 25 votes, including my dad. That makes up 25. Huh, that's interesting. How will the remaining 75 be divided? Those who support Mr. Zhou Qinan, please raise your hands. I counted. 35. Not bad at all. Seeing that I didn't raise my hand, my brother got anxious and urged me in a low voice. Shan, stop messing around. Raise your hand quickly. I smiled at him and said, Big brother, I never said I would support you. He widened his eyes, as if that would allow him to see through how I had been bought off by the second one. What price did the second one offer you? They'll give you double. Okay. I'm begging you. Just raise your hand, big brother. Stop talking nonsense, the ballot counter announced. The vote count. Mr. Zhou Qinan has 35 votes. Those who support Mr. Zhou Qianshang, please raise your hands. I raised my hand, accompanied by my brother's incredulous gaze. The vote counter announced again. The vote count. Mr. Zhou Qianshang has 40 votes. Next, I announce that Mr. Zhou Qianshang will assume the position of chairman of the Zhou Group. After the meeting, my brother slumped alone in his chair, and I stayed behind to wait and say a few words to him. I sat across from him, waiting for him to speak up and ask me, why? Why betray me? I looked straight at him. Doesn't Big Brother understand? He looked up at me, his eyes filled with red veins. Zhou Shanshan, what have I done to wrong you that you want to take such revenge on me? I clicked my tongue. The grudge between us is quite significant. For instance, the grudge of killing a husband, he said disdainfully. You know, but I don't believe you would take revenge on me for a man who once betrayed you. I pretended to think. Then if that doesn't count. What about your scheme to hand me over to Li Changxing? What about your grudge for allowing a drug-addicted madwoman to get close to my son? He was silent for a moment before he spoke. You already know. When did you find out? The day I went to get my father's military order. He told me that the family had no intention of marrying me off to Li Changxing. That's when I realized you and my sister-in-law were deceiving me. Then why didn't you expose me? That decision was very beneficial for the Zhou family at the time, and I couldn't refuse. So I got married. But I never expected that your dealings with Li Changxing would continue for 3 more years. Cui Qing was brought back by you, right? She couldn't make it abroad. And with just a little manipulation from you, she became useful to you. You helped her forge a fake resume and covered up her background. You created chaos in the kindergarten for the Li family, got them to recruit, and sent her in, allowing her to provoke me. Did you tell her that you had a way to make He Chuanqing fall in love with her again? So she foolishly provoked me, and you deliberately let me know she was getting close to my son. You knew I would drive her away. And you also knew I would ultimately humiliate her again. In the end, you went through great lengths to find out my and He Chuanqing's whereabouts. then provided her with drugs that caused her to hallucinate, and then stimulated her to remember today's humiliation, leading her to kill He Chuanxing in a fit of delusion and passion. Your plan was originally to have me smoothly acquire the He family's shares, take over the He family, and then help you inherit the Zhou family. In the end, you would send me to Li Changsheng's bed, right? He said slowly. Just like my sister, you described my plan to the letter. I gave a little hint. Well, sort of. But didn't Big Brother praise me a couple of days ago, saying I was exceptional? He widened his eyes. Is it you behind the second? You've been standing with him all along. Why? What has he given you that makes you serve him so loyally? He hasn't given me anything. Just a promise. He promised that I could live a peaceful life with my child for the rest of our days. Something you can't provide. He scoffed and laughed derisively. Do you believe his promises? Aren't you afraid he'll use you up and toss you aside just like I did? Big Brother. Second brother is a smart man. He knows I can bring you down. And I can bring him down too. He won't easily provoke me. Just from this point alone, he's better than you. His face was ashen. Sitting motionless in the chair, waiting for me to pronounce his fate, I stood up, looking down at him. Do you know where your plan went wrong? Where? The mistake was in your choice of target from the very beginning. I, Zhou Shanshan, will never be controlled by anyone. I've already reported what you've done to the police, and they should be here to arrest you soon. As soon as the words were spoken, a group of police officers burst into the conference room and took the boss away. Everything has been settled. Any further struggle from the elder brother is futile, and he has finally admitted defeat. Brother, let me give you one last piece of advice. Don't mess with women. After the second brother took over the Zhou group, the first thing he did was to bring down the Li family. And in the end, the company that partnered with the Zhou group became the Zhao families. This was my way of repaying Mrs. Zhao for her help when I was fighting my battles in kindergarten. The elder brother was sentenced to prison and spent a few years inside. After he got out, he became much more subdued, dedicating himself to taking care of the two elderly people. Every year, with the dividends from his shares, he managed to get by reasonably well. Qi Chihuan is about to enter high school, and I carefully asked him about his plans for the future. Do you want to participate in the art examination as a special talent student? Or do you want to take the college entrance examination to study other majors? Or do you want to study abroad after graduating from high school? Mom supports you in whatever you choose, Qi Chihuan said to me with a serious expression. Mom, I like painting. I want to take the art examination. Ah, then who will inherit this huge fortune from Mom? Let my younger brother do it. Anyway, I don't want to inherit it. I just like being free, like a teacher, traveling around the world to hold art exhibitions. I'm not interested in those businesses you have. I lamented. All right then, when you turn 18, Mom will transfer 2 of the shares to your name. This is what your dad left for you, and you can't refuse. Okay. Qi Huan. Oh Qi Huan, now that you've made your choice, when you grow up, don't try to take your brother's things, or else Mommy will get angry.